Hello, my wonderful friends. I'm going to exercise my gift right now for stating the obvious. I'm a huge kindness advocate, if you couldn't tell. Hence the shirt, hence the cape. I am all in for kindness. Why? Because kindness is love in action. It's love made visible, my friends. It's love made visible, and kindness is love's delivery agent, love's delivery mechanism. And how do you define kindness? Kindness is simply this. It's love in action that embraces every behavior by which we show value and appreciation for ourselves and for others. Every one of us needs to feel valued and seen. We all want to be loved. We all need to feel love and give love. We all need to feel important and feel like we're making a difference. Now, how easy is that in today's world? You flip on the TV or you look at social media, and we're constantly seeing people going at each other. Vitriol, malice, hatred, anger. We hear about wars. We see what's been happening in the Middle East. We see and hear about crimes and heinous things happening in the United States and in other countries all across the world. We hear about loneliness and isolation and greater instances of mental health and disconnection. All those things are constantly on parade before us. And my friends, the question we have to ask ourselves is, what are we going to do about it? I don't know about you, but I'm not willing to settle for and say, this is the norm. This is just the way it is now. I'm not willing to do that, and I'm willing to bet, I have confidence that the majority of you out there are right in the same camp with me, that you're not willing to settle for this. You're not willing to accept and say that this is the new norm. So then the question becomes, well, what can we do about it? My friends, I'm going to give you 2 simple words of guidance and then a simple formula for putting that guidance into action. The 2-word guidance is love people. Love people. Love people. Why? Because love saves lives. And that's not something I just take lightly or say lightly. I know for myself that it is true because love saved me. I'm a survivor of multiple forms of childhood abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental and emotional abuse. Not so much physical, but mental and emotional abuse, and some physical, all those things. And you could say the stress and strain that caught on my body was physical abuse because of always worrying about and fearing about other things. So I survived those things. How? Because I, first of all, had faith in God. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. And that faith strengthened me, and I felt their love. I know that they're there and that they're real. I felt their love for me, and I felt it in multitude of ways. And one of the other ways that I felt that was friends. I firmly believe that they raised up friends who were willing to extend their arms and love toward me. All those friends, especially during some really challenging times, my father was being prosecuted. It was all over the newspapers. It was readily available for anyone who wanted to look at the newspaper to see, and it was highly embarrassing. But during that time, my friends reached out and extended love. In that time when I contemplated suicide, despite my faith, despite knowing that it would be wrong, I contemplated it because that's how dark and down I got. And then my friends and their parents reached out and put their arms around me and helped me to know that I mattered, that I made a difference, and I could make a difference. And I have felt that life-saving love a multitude of times since then. My friends, love saves lives. So let me get back to the simple method for implementing that 2-word mantra, love people. And it's called the Kindness Givers Formula. And it's simple. It's 5 steps, and you can learn it easily and put it into practice starting today. Here's the first step. Every time when you get up in the morning, look in the mirror and think, I am going to be a kindness giver. Say that to yourself out loud. Why does that matter? Kindness givers look at people and see people as people. They see people as people rather than objects, and they believe people deserve to be valued and appreciated. They have a heart set to feel that people deserve to be valued and appreciated. So when you look in the mirror and say, I'm going to be a kindness giver, you're going to say, I'm adopting the mindset and the heart set to love people and see them as human beings that deserve to be valued and appreciated. That's the first step. I'm going to be a kindness giver. Second, every day, take a few minutes to review your day and think of who you're going to be with, where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing, and plan out potential opportunities to be kind in those situations. Now, I say plan out potential opportunities. I say potential because you and I know how many times have you had plans laid out and they don't go as you think they should or they would. Most of the time, our plans never go completely as we laid them out. So I say potential. Think of potential ways to be kind in those situations. The third step, go forward and then intentionally look for and act on all the random opportunities for kindness that present themselves. I firmly believe that there are no random acts of kindness. Every act of kindness we give is intentional. We choose to do it. But there are a multitude of random opportunities to be kind, and we can find them if we're intentionally looking for them, and we can act on as many as reasonably possible. We can't act on everything, but I invite you strongly to act on as many as reasonably possible. The fourth step, invite and encourage other people to do the same thing. Invite and encourage other people to do the same thing. As you're going out and giving kindness away, people are going to see how joyful and happiness you are. Why? Or happy you are, I should say, not happiness. Well, the joyful happiness that you carry with you. Why? Because you cannot help but feel good inside when you know that you're doing something that's bringing joy and happiness to someone else. You cannot help but feel good and happiness inside when you see the joy and light come on in the light of somebody, in the eyes of somebody else. You can't help but feel happy inside and good when you hear other people talking about what just happened. You just created an experience for 3 different people, even 4, I should say. The 4th person is the person who later observes it either on video or reading your story or some other way, or you later on can be that 4th person when you pick up your kindness journal and read it. Now that takes me to the 5th step. That's a segue right to the 5th step. The 5th step is when you get to the end of the day, go home and reflect on your kindness experiences and record them in a journal, a kindness journal, so that when you have your rainy days, you can go back and look at those experiences and rekindle them. You can rekindle the feelings of love and joy and hope. You can rekindle what my good friend Jacqueline Way and my wonderful friend Dr. Delia call the dose. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. Those are the lovely, happy feelings that we get that are spread throughout our body when we give love away. So 5 simple steps. Determine to be a kindness giver. Think of and plan ways to be a kindness giver. Look for and act on opportunities to be a kindness giver. Invite and encourage others to be kindness givers, and reflect on, record on your kindness giving experiences. My friends, I can promise you that as you do this, it will not only make a difference in your lives, but you'll find that you're making a difference in the lives of others. It's an opportunity. Every time you put this formula into practice, my friends, it's an opportunity for you to step up and step into the role of a kindness superhero. We never know when some simple thing we do today could be the miracle that somebody needed in their lives. I can share with you just a little experience that I had myself with that. When I was 14 and going through all the challenges of my father being prosecuted for the heinous crimes that he had committed, it was embarrassing. It was all over the newspapers, and my self-esteem didn't exist. I was totally embarrassed. I felt terrible about me. Didn't exist. Somehow in that vitriolic period in my life, that challenge, I should say, volatile period, not vitriolic, that volatile period in my life, I was picked to be a representative for our class to the student council on the student body council. So the student body president asked me if I would type up the agenda for the next meeting. And so I did. I typed it up. I went to the next meeting ahead of time. I set all the agendas out on the desk, and I was sitting there waiting. And in came a dear friend of mine, my beautiful friend, Rochelle Knight. She was a cheerleader. She was popular, and she was known for being super kind, super nice to everybody. And she came in and she picked up one of the agendas, and she looked at it for a minute or two, and then she looked up at me, and in a matter-of-fact way, she said, "Did you know you misspelled the word miscellaneous?" And I was embarrassed, and I looked at it and I said, "Oh, I guess I did. I'll bet you think I'm pretty stupid, huh?" That simple statement tells you exactly how I felt about me. I felt really like I was just dumb, stupid, and had no worth. Her response did not miss a beat. She did not miss a beat, miss a second. She immediately responded and said, "Oh, no, I don't. I think you're pretty neat." My friends, I have never forgotten those words. I had no idea in that time how desperately I needed to hear them. I desperately needed to hear them. And in that moment, she laid her hand on my heart and left indelible fingerprints of love there. I have never forgotten that experience, and it's 45 years, almost 45 years, 40 years, I guess, since that happened. Now, you may not have that same kind of experience. You never know, though, when some little thing that you do might impact somebody else's lives in the same way Rochelle impacted mine. I talked to her 20 years later. She had no idea how she had impacted me, that I did. And you realize that 20 years later, that kindness came back around to her. When I shared that experience with her, she needed to hear it at that time. She needed to be reminded that she had been kind and made a difference in somebody's life. At that time in her life, my sharing that experience with her was like a boomerang effect, uplifting her, lifting and strengthening her, and helping her to feel joy and happiness inside because of what she had done all those years ago. My friends, you and I can have that same experience every day. We can be kind of superheroes. We can look for simple ways to make a difference. Our world needs us. There's never been a time when we could say, when the need for love for people has been greater. Kindness now, my friends. Not tomorrow, not the next day. Kindness now. This is our time. Thank you.